So I'm going to read some sentences or questions, and I want you to listen to them and to write the number in the right place. Okay? So it's not necessary to write down all the sentences, just the numbers. Number 1. I won't be late next class. Number 2. It's very noisy. I'll close the window. Oh, wait, I'll help you carry all that. Susan is going to make a cake. Number 5. I don't think classes will start on the 31st. 6. Oh, look, Mary's going to have a baby. Well, that's it. Oh no, one is missing. We are meeting at 5 p.m. next week. On Friday, I think it was. Let me check. Oh yes, on Friday. Well, that's it. Sorry, not like this. It should be like this. Well, so you will have to write down the numbers and then I'll check if that was okay. After that, I would like you to write your own examples. So, one example of a future arrangement, a plan, a prediction with evidence, etc. Okay. You send all that to me and I'll check it. Well, and I think this will round up what we started seeing last class. And now let's pass on to present perfect that we also started last class, but we didn't finish. Well, what we saw the other day was that we can use present perfect for complete actions that happened in the past, and we are not saying when they took place. Okay, that is what we said, and we also said that we use it with certain words. I think we talked about just, already, yet, and there was another one we talked about. Well, ever. Just, already, yet, and ever. I think we didn't say anything about ever yet. We haven't. Okay. And I remember that we said something about what you have done. Well, what you had done that day, but let's today think of some sentences about our life. What have we done? What have we already done? Remember that this has to be something that you think that you will be doing throughout your life. For example, I can say I have had 2 children. Yes? So I can't say I haven't become president yet because, well, I'm not planning to. So bear in mind that what you say has to be about something that you think that will happen in your life, most probably, let's say. Okay, so tell me 3 things that you have already done and 3 that you haven't done yet, but you think that you will be doing, that you will do in the future. For example, I can say, I haven't stopped working yet. Well, I will sometime, but not yet. Okay? Well, so 3 sentences telling me what you have already done and 3 about what you haven't done yet. Okay? Right. Once you have finished, I want you to think for a second what you have just done. What have you just done? Well, one sentence using just, okay? Well, and I'm not sure whether we mentioned ever last class. I think we didn't. So we use ever, especially, I lost the mark as usual. Oh, here it is. So we use ever to ask about experiences. For example, have you ever been abroad? Have you ever eaten octopus? Have you ever drunk alcohol? Okay, so when we ask about an experience, we use present perfect and we include the word ever. And when we answer, the first answer will also be in present perfect. But what happens if we continue the dialogue and we start talking about that experience? Then we will change, we will shift into simple past. So we can ask, for instance, when did you eat it? Don't forget that if we have did, we have to use infinitive. So, when did you eat it? Well, I ate it when I was 10, on Christmas. So, and now I would like you to write some short dialogues like this. I'll give you the clues, okay? You have to ask the question, you answer, and then you ask. So, look at the example and you will see that the first question is asking about the experience, and so it should be in present perfect. But then when you keep on giving information, when you keep on talking and you give more information, when you enlarge, then you should shift into simple past. And the answer will have to be in simple past too. So in this case, when did you eat it? I ate it. So here you have another one for you to make. Sorry, not for you to make, but for you to do. Drink something awful, and what? the last one. Okay, well, that's it. Okay, now, now in order to revise all this, I would like you to go to image number 1, where you will find exercises for AA, for AB, and then for BA. Yes, so let's do those 3 exercises for you to check that the use of present perfect is clear. Okay, then we go to these dialogues, but first let's do the ones on the image and then this one. Okay, well, all right, now let's pass on to another case when we also use present perfect, and that is with the words for or since. Let's get another marker. Well, you said last class that for is used for periods of time. When we are talking about periods of time, for instance, I've come to this institute for 3 years or 5 years or 2 weeks, or I've been living in Melisatei for 13 years. So it has to be a period of time. What are periods of time? 5 seconds, 5 minutes, 5 hours, 5 decades, 5 years, or ages. When to use since? When we refer to a specific time, to a specific point in time, for instance. What would be a specific time? When I was born, or when I moved, or when they got married, or in 1997, or at 3 o'clock, or yesterday morning. So it has to be something specific, something in particular. Okay, so well, so do you think you can think of at least 2 activities that you have done, and you tell me how long you have been doing them? So try to use for in 2 sentences and try to use since maybe in the same ones, or if you can think of 2 different ones, much better. Okay, well, and now let's go to let's go to the difference between present perfect simple and continuous, which I think we did not mention last time. No, before this, let's choose the right word, either for or since. So after we do this, if there is no problem, we can go to the difference between present perfect simple and present perfect continuous or progressive. All right. So what is the difference? Sometimes you feel that you can use one or the other, but if we go deeper, we will see that the ideal thing to do is to use present perfect simple when we are talking about complete actions. Remember that we shouldn't say when they took place, because if we say when, then we should be using simple past. But if we are talking about something that has already happened and which is complete, but we are not saying when, then we should be using present perfect simple. For example, I've bought a new pair of shoes, or he's found a new job, or they have moved into. So these are all complete actions that do not have to continue. They are complete, they have finished, I mean. And we are not saying when this happened. So we have present perfect simple for complete actions. And by complete we mean finished, that don't need to continue. Complete actions that took place in the past, but when we are not saying when. We can say no time reference, okay? There is no time reference. Is this clear? So I bought a new pair of shoes, present perfect because it's complete and there is no time reference. But if I said I bought a new pair of shoes last week, then I should be using simple past. Is that clear? Okay, and present perfect continuous or progressive is used for actions which have not finished yet. Or incomplete actions, let's say. What can be an example of an incomplete action? I've been studying, but I haven't studied everything yet. I still have to go on. I've been living, and I am still living here. Yes? Or I've been dating John and we are still together. Okay, so it has to be an action that started in the past but is still in progress, continues. Okay, let's see another difference. In both cases there is in this case there is no reference at all, no time reference at all, and here I can say there may be a time reference, but the time reference must include the present and must not be finished yet. For instance, I could say, so but including the present. For instance, this morning, if it is still morning, this afternoon, this week, and the week we are in the same week when you say so. This year, yes. So the time reference must not have finished yet, must include the time of speaking. So I could say, I've been living in this flat for 3 weeks. And that means that the action is incomplete because I am still there, I keep on living there, and there is a time reference, yes? That the weeks, I am still within those 3 weeks. If I said I lived in London for 3 weeks, I lived, the action would be complete. That means that I am no longer there. But if I say I've been living in this flat for 3 weeks, the 3 weeks include my present, the time of speaking. Okay, so time reference possible. Something else, another difference. we will be using present perfect simple when we talk about quantity, when we answer or when we give information about how much or how many. And in this case, we will be giving information about how long they've been married or they've been going out together. They've been going out together for, in this case, he has eaten 5 hamburgers. The action is complete and you are giving information about how many or how much. He has drunk too much. Okay. Well, so I would like you to think and write at least 3 sentences about what you have been doing, this week. And remember that it must be about something that you have not finished because it has to continue. What you have been doing. Yes, you started sometime this week, but you have not finished. You still have to go on doing that. 3. And then 2, about things that you have already done. Always thinking about this week, but 2 things that you have finished, and 3 that are still in progress that you will do again. Okay, well, and I think this will round up present perfect. Oh no, there is something else, but which we didn't mention at all last class, and that is when we are thinking about, when we talk about a past action, but we are concentrating on the result on the present time. We're not interested in when it took place, but on the result now. For instance, and this is another case of present perfect simple. That is, when we pay attention to the result of a past action on the present time. And this is, for instance, the case when we say, for instance, John has had an accident. What you are interested in is in how he is now. If he's going to be alright, if he is in hospital, if he is alright. Not how or when or where. You're not interested in the past action. You're interested in the result now on the present. Okay. So let's think of another example like this. You've drunk too much. I'm not interested in knowing where you drank or what or how much. What I am interested is in the fact that now you are drunk, now you can't drive, or now you're not feeling well. So when you are thinking of the result on the present, then we should also use present perfect simple. Let's see if you can suggest, if you can write at least one other example when you think that you're interested in the results on the present. Well, and now I think we have rounded up present perfect. Well, that's it for today. Fer, ¿cómo apago esto? No sé.